on top of the world, about to jump above it. Take it straight to the moon, 'cause we know how to rock it. Ain't no thing you can do, ain't no way to stop it. Now you're feeling it too, let's get it started. Throw your hands in the air while the beat is dropping. Acting like you don't care when everybody's watching. Just keep whipping your hair like that, you got it. Yeah, you're feeling it too, let's get it started. I'm ready, ready. Let's get it, get it. I'm ready, ready. Are you ready, ready? Let's get it started. Off the meter, turn it up, blow the speakers, make them all to believers. Break through the surface, tell them open the curtains, give them all what they wanted. Yeah, now let's get it started. I'm ready, ready. Let's get it, get it. Yeah, I'm ready, ready. I'm ready. Are you ready, ready? I'm ready. Let's get it started. Yeah, yeah, I'm ready, ready. Let's get it, get it. I'm ready, ready. Let's go. Are you ready, ready? Let's get it started. Let's get it started. Let's get it, get it. Let's get it started. Let's get it started. Let's get it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Give me something new. Time to break loose. Take it to another level. Now we on the move. Shout if you coming with me. Going over the limit. On your mark, keep it steady. So tell me, are you ready? I'm ready, ready. Let's get it, get it. I'm ready, ready. Are you ready, ready? Let's get it started.
And good evening, race fans. Welcome to the LSRTV productions of the SIM500 Winter Series, known as the Trans-Service Cup Blizzard Series. My name is John Muschin Jr. I'll be up in the booth tonight, and next to me is going to be the amazing and awesomely sexy Corey Silva. Down in the production van is going to be our buddy Cody Wooten, and we are ready for some racing. 100 laps at Texas Motor Speedway in the next-gen cars. Corey, man, this should be a good combination for some exciting racing tonight, I think.
First off, I don't think I've ever heard those adjectives in the same sentence, so thank you for that. But I do agree, tonight should be some great action here in the next-gen cars. Again, quite the unknown, at least for me. I'm sure you as well, John. We don't quite know what these next-gen cars will offer as we're learning with these 5-speed transmissions and the 550 horsepower package, but Texas will definitely give some exciting racing for us tonight.
Yeah, I did a little bit of testing, and I did a few of the official races in this car at a couple at Texas and Charlotte, and I think Atlanta. We call them the cookie cutter courses or racetrack, excuse me. And Texas is so much different though from say Charlotte or Atlanta. At Charlotte, you can almost hold the throttle wide open for the first 5 or 10 laps. You can't do it at Texas at all. I was by myself in practice today and had to lift after about 2 laps or go straight to the wall. And Texas is notoriously tight anyway, coming off of 2. This car just seems to be a little bit worse. So we're going to see how that works out for you guys.
Yeah, the configuration,
right now,
John, of 1 and 2, as we know, it just the configuration of 1 and 2, John, just leads you to that issue where you can't quite go flat out because we don't have that 24 degrees of banking on each side of the speedway. So you have to really slow down for that wider, flatter turn 1 and 2. Puts that handling into play, but definitely the slipstream is open for the rest of the racetrack.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to be rolling off of practice here shortly. We got about another 2 minutes, 45 seconds of practice. Then we're going to be doing some qualifying. Now, normally they do some qualifying. I believe, what is it, Cody, the top 18 transfer. And then, I'm sorry? Okay, yeah. Top 18 transfer, and then we're going to do a Conci race. Last chance qualifier, that's what I'm trying to say. Bear with me, folks. It's been a long Monday down here in South Louisiana, and I am I am tore up from the floor if you get the drift. So, um, let's talk about this racetrack a little bit. It's dogleg style. You know, we said it before. They call them the cookie cutters. They're Corey, and you talked about that banking in 1 and 2 is so much flatter than it is in 3 and 4. We're going to look at about 55 to 62 laps on field tonight. So with 100 laps, we're definitely going to have at least one pit stop. If this thing goes green, caution free, we're going to see at least one green flag pit stop. But let's just be honest between two buddies here. I don't think we're staying green the whole 100 laps.
I'm going to be honest, man. You're probably right, but I do expect this race to be pretty green. It's just kind of the nature of, cookie cutter racing, and Texas, you love it, you hate it. You can go around the racing community and there's a big debate on whether this configuration is good or not, but it does typically provide clean racing, of course, once you can get through those first 5-10 laps.
And I mean, I love Texas, don't get me wrong. I'm just not a fixed setup guy at this track. iRacing setups always just seem so. I don't know how to put that particular emotion into words, but I just don't care for it. I'll race all day long at Texas with an open setup configurations. What we mean by that, folks, is most of your leagues run a fixed setup, so you run what you run, kind of a thing. The setup's the same going through qualifying, practice, and then the race. The only thing the drivers can change are the steering ratio and their tires. That's it. They can't change springs. They can't change tire pressures, camber, anything like that. It's all set up by iRacing, and they are notoriously tight, making for kind of a miserable day at the track, to be honest with you. So anyway, let's talk about our point standings. Right now, the points coming into tonight's race, Mike Montezi still has that lead, but Falkingham made up a lot of ground last week by that win that he got. So you got Mike Montezi in first, Falkingham second. Bentley Glazer, also a previous winner here, he's third. Kevin DeBrown squeaks up from 6th to 4th, and Chad Coleman drops down one spot to 5th. That's your top 5 in points. They are separated by a mere, let's see, where did that little stat go? 54 points. 50 points, excuse me. 50 points between the leader and 5th place there. So, you can't make mistakes here. This is only a 10-race series. 9-race series. And they are going to be doing race number 6 tonight. So there's still a chance for that guy in 5th to come up and make some points. But I don't think anybody from 6th on back, or he has even a chance of getting into the lead of the points there.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Typically, the one race maximum tends to be about 40 points that you can earn in one event. So if you're on the cusp of that or out of it, really wouldn't want to have too many championship hopes. But of course, you want to fight for whatever you can, as qualifying underway on the racetrack right now.
And Scott Simley, that beautiful Mobile 12 car. It's a Ford Mustang, and that thing looks sharp. I like the way that car looks, and he's looking good coming around for his first time lap right here. Now, if you watch him come across his dog leg, across that finish line, he's going to swing way out to the wall, and then he should be backing up the gas right about there. He didn't, though, so you see how he washed up a little bit right there. And
that's where the money is made. That's where the money's made, John, right there, 1 and 2, because there's so many different apexes, so many different turning points, so many different ways to make it. And, of course, you have to get to the white line at some point. Where Scott missed that white line there, it's going to detriment his lap compared to everybody else. But we'll see what it is crossing the stripe, 33.72.
Which isn't bad, considering it's a fixed setup race. I mean, that's a pretty good speed. So that should tell you about what your race laps are going to be, somewhere in that neighborhood. Now, I did notice in my practice session, Corey, that drop-off was about a second, almost a second and 3/4 between my first lap and lap 54 when I pitted for fuel. But these guys might do it a little bit differently. They're going to be in a draft. I wasn't in the draft, stuff like that. So we'll see how it goes. Right now, Simley's maintaining a 3rd spot with that first lap. Right there, he goes to 227, excuse me. He picks up a good 2 or 3 tenths right there. That's not bad at all. Comstock.
Yeah,
wow.
I'm almost wondering if... Oh, just had a little glitch there. So I'm almost wondering if lap 1, John, if they're not even up to speed. I mean, we know how slow these cars are with these kind of governed engines. So I think lap 2 is the money lap, just from the perspective of actually being up to full song.
That's what it's looking like so far. Everybody here is already put down over a 10th better second lap than they did their first lap. So we'll see how this continues to trend right here. Right now, Simley, well, never mind. He was on top. He's got Jeff Ryan just knocked him off. Almost a full 10th right there. 30.122 for Jeffrey Ryan, taking that top spot in qualifying. Right now, Charlie Woods is on track in that number 40 car.
Ryan had an absolute nightmare, to say it lightly, of a race. Jeff Ryan did at Richmond, so nice way to turn that around with a provisional pole effort thus far.
Yeah, that's an outstanding lap right there. And we're under 2 minutes to go in qualifying, so pretty much most guys that are going to qualify have done that already. You know who I just noticed isn't in the field right now? I don't see his name in scoring at all. It's Joey Tatina. I guess Joey decided to take the night off.
I was actually thinking of somebody different. I was actually thinking of the other Ryan. I don't quite see him here either, but I could just be missing him on the scoring pile.
Yeah, Tommy's not here, yeah. Jorgensen just blasted a fast lap of 30.113 and snagged that pole away from Jeff Ryan, but barely. That's 1/100th, it looks like. Yeah, 1/100th of a lap difference there. Bentley Glazer on track right now. First lap is a 31.14. That's fast, man. We'll see what he can do here with his second lap there, Corey.
Yeah, that was actually quite the slowest lap, to be honest. 23rd on lap 1. I don't know if he was planning something. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know why I said that. Yeah.
I think it paid off, though. I think it paid off. Waiting for the final scoring. Yes, it did. Pays off with a provisional pole.
Yeah, it did. Wow. So, you know what he did there? He saved some tire for that second lap.
Or he ran as high as physically possible on each end of the track to fully wind that engine up. Looks like that's going to be what the magic ticket was. I don't think anybody else will be able to knock him off here, but 20 seconds left in qualifying.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you go right ahead, sir. I was about to do an intro, but I wasn't ready for it anyways.
Yeah, I was about to say, looking at timing, Falkingham turned in a 30 flat. 30 flat, man. Wow. That's just, that's haul in the mail right there.
That's why you don't get that. That's why they don't give you the pole trophy till the final second, because those moments like that.
Well, folks, we got qualifying in the books right now. We're going to do 1 minute of warm-up. So let's go ahead and get that starting lineup, and we'll get it out to you right now. Oh, I can use Apex. I can't. Okay, well, we'll do that when they actually grid. It's going to be a long night, boys.
So just a little 60-second breather here, I take it, before the green flag. I don't think you can even turn a lap on this track.
And get around to about turn 3 or 4. That's about it.
Little breather, I guess. Make sure all the oil's up to temp and brakes are working and driver's head's on the right way. Most important aspect of all is probably that last one. They make sure the driver's head's on the right way.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, folks, this is the Trans-Service Blizzard Cup Series. Now, Trans-Service Logistics has been around for a while, and they've been a part of this SIM500 League for a few years now. They provide the points funding for the Monday night series for the regular season, which is the Trans-Service Cup Series. They agreed to jump on board and sponsor this winter series, give these guys a chance to get their heads wrapped around this next-gen car. So why don't you give them a little bit of love if you can. Stop by transservice.com, check out what they have to offer. They are a top logistics company here in the United States, and they've probably got a package that will help you out if you're looking for somebody to handle the logistics of your business. That's transservice.com. Stop by and check them out. Well, here we go, man. We're gridding. 100 laps of Texas, Corey. You ready for this? Daniel Falkingham snags that pole in the 39 car. His outside, former winner, Bentley Glazer. Don't forget, Daniel Falkingham was last week's winner at Richmond. We look for some big things from him tonight. Row 2, Mark Jorgensen. Inside, Jeff Ryan at his outside. Good start for Jeff. Let's see if he can hang on to that top spot there and have a better finish this week. Charlie Woods in the 40 car in row 3. His outside, Paul Crombride in the 15 car. Paul also looking to turn his luck around. Row 4, Randy Yoakum, the 8 car. His outside, Anthony M. Calantoni in the 84. And in row 5, in Mike Montesi, the points leader, Cookie Monster, as we call it. And outside of him, Scott Simlin, the 12 car. Corey?
Of course, in row number 6, Jose Medina and Kevin Brown will start 11th and 12th. Then we have Dwight Beverly and Tyler Hunter in the 70, rolling off in P14. P15, John Fowler. P16, Bobby Wetzel. And then we have Kevin England and Robert Frieri III. Rounding out row number 10, we'll have Jay Randall Watkins and Doug Sigmund in the 04 machine.
Row 11, Doug Roth from the 43 to his outside, Travis Trevelyan, that's a new name, 71 car. Inside of row 12, E.J. O'Rourke, didn't take a qualifying lap, I don't believe. His outside, Matthew Karakopi. Matthew's also will turn some luck around tonight, hopefully stay out of the trouble there. Folks, that's going to be your start. Oh, no, we have some more, I'm sorry. Ron Holyfield in the 1 car inside row 13. His outside, 26, Joseph Atchison, the 32 car. Row 14, David Comstock. Not sure what happened to David qualifying. He pulled out and pulled right back in. He's going to be there inside row 14. His outside, Jimmy Coleman in that 54 car. Row 15, Gerald Livingston in the 96. To his outside, Anthony Monroe in the 82. And that's gonna be your lineup, folks. And we are stacked up 2 by 2, coming through 3 and 4 now. The pace car ducks down. We'll see what kind of start Falkingham can get there on the inside. His outside is Glazer. Glazer needs to stick right with him as much as he can for these restarts tonight. And there they go. The green flag is out. Good restart there by the inside row. Daniel Falkingham taking that inside lead. Right behind him, you've got, looks like is that the 82 car of Monroe? It's hard to tell with those numbers. I can't see him. Corey, yes, Monroe right there.
Yeah, as we come down the back straightaway for lap number 1, battle for the lead already. Looked like Jorgensen was going to take a look to the inside there. Didn't quite have the momentum. 1, 2, 3 single file as we come through 3 and 4, and there's still pace lap formation. Looks like about 5th and 6th on back here.
Yeah, still doing some double wide racing back there, trying to get things sorted out in the meantime. Up front, Buckingham's got a nice little 2-car lead over Jorgensen in that 88 car. And wow, we got a car washing way up high in the 1 out there. That looks like Jeffrey Ryan in that 3 car. Got pushed up just a little bit there. And we talked about at the top of the show, 1 and 2 are already tight as far as the way the track starts off feeling. And it just gets worse as we progress. Now we got a nice single file run all the way back to Jeff Ryan there in 8th. Still got a little double file running back there behind him.
Yeah, we don't have the PJ1 here on that top groove at Texas as they would in reality, so there's no advantage to being up there in no man's land, and he was up 5-6 lanes up there, was Ryan, so not to his advantage right there as he'll fall back in line and have some racing a little bit through the field here. Looks like the 21 of Mike Montesi is going to the inside, trying to make a pass here, and ooh, who's that? That got a little bit loose, that 8 machine on the
Randy
outside.
Yoakum there, yeah. That's Randy Yoakum in the 8 car. There's, I don't want to say it's a rival between these two, but they've had some run-ins on track, fought each other pretty hard a couple times, and we'll keep an eye on them. And we got another car sliding way up high up there. Can't tell right off the bat who that is, but I don't know what they're doing up there. There's nothing on, oh wow, he's already got damage. Who is that? Is that the 1 car?
Yeah, that is the 1 machine, that Valvoline machine of Ron Holyfield.
O'Rourke are both a lap down. I wonder what happened to him. I mean, that's a lot of nose front damage there.
I did see that there's another driver up all the way up front who is running all the way up top as far north as Arkansas, all the way up there about lane 7 or 8 and 1 and 2.
Same thing. He's a heavily damaged vehicle. Something must have happened on the start of this race that did not bring out the caution, but still damaged these cars really bad. Like, they have extensive damage on the front end. That's definitely going to hurt their chances tonight. There are no fast repairs in this league. It's a 100 lap, 100% fuel, 3 sets of tires for these guys. So that's tough luck for those two. I mean, they're already heavily damaged going a lap down on lap 5 of this race there, Corey.
Yeah, whatever happened, obviously Barney the flagman did not find it significant enough to throw a yellow flag, as we do have a battle for position. That is the number 93 of Kevin Brown to the inside, making a pass, and somebody's going backwards about 3-4 positions there. Couldn't quite tell who it was. But Kevin Brown on the move in that
like,
number 93.
Woods maybe in that 40.
You could can see here, John, the different approaches in turn one. Kevin Brown doing a really good job hooking the white line there. It's gaining him a lot of time on those top three, allowing him to make this ground up. You could see that number 18 just in front of him running a little bit higher. Look at him right to the back bumper, trying to get him arrow loose off of four.
Wow. Wow, that is a textbook way to pass here in Texas, too. Get right up on that corner of the car and try to loosen him up as he goes through 3 and 4 and complete the pass. You go down 1 and 2, and he brings Montezi into 21 with him to move Glazer back to 5th. Mike Montezi and Brown both move up a couple spots there. And I tell you what, Kevin DeBrown showing that strength we see from him all series long, Corey.
Well, in the short time I've covered these guys, I've definitely seen him as a front runner in the series. So good to see him and, getting some good airtime here and trying to make something happen as we take lap number 8. And another driver about to go a lap down already. I believe that's Anthony Monroe just in front of the leaders right here.
Yeah, like I said, there must have been something that happened on the start of this race that we didn't see, because those 3 guys are already going a lap down, and we're not even 10 laps into this thing. And now something else I want you, as we ride along in car here with Kevin DeBrown, watch his tack. And he's in 5th gear, but watch his tack as they come across the line. Just start hitting that red line right there.
Here's the lift. The only lift. Would he lose about 1,000 RPMs?
Yeah. Now there were some guys trying to downshift in the practice session, but it doesn't work very well when you're in a draft.
And then now he gets the full windup in the pitch. He's going to try to get that pass done. A little bit too far back, though. But that's how this Texas works. You get the momentum from the draft in 1 and 2, and you use it to get the good run off of 3 and 4 down the front.
Yeah, we're going to watch him this time. I think he's trying to set up the 88 of Jorgensen for that very thing that you were just talking about.
Missed the bottom, though. That's going to open up the door for Montezi.
Yeah, I was about to say, Montezi was taking a peek right there, but I don't think he had enough juice right there to get by the Brown. In the meantime, those 2 in front of those guys, Buckingham and Jorgensen, kind of blown away a little bit, it looks like they're, Corey. As I say that, they switch back up.
Yeah, this is that point where I think we're kind of waiting. Oh, as Montezi, he's going to try something different there. Trying to go to the outside. Not sure how well that's going to work. All it's going to do is open up the door for the number 18 of Bentley Glazer to go to the inside. May have a little freight train in the reverse direction here as we head down the backstretch into turn 3.
Well, the only thing that saved him right there going 3 and 4. Whoa,
wait,
contact
8
from
machine Yoakum.
I think he kept it straight.
So far, we stay green. We'll see if maybe we can get a replay of that in a moment. But a hell of a save there by the number 8 machine of Randy Yoakum.
I'm not sure
there
if
as
there
we
was
hit through
actually
3 and 4.
contact between him and Chrome Rye or what. I didn't mean to walk on you. I'm sorry.
But that's just how it works here at Texas. It's all about, trying to finagle these passes wherever they're available, because passing here is not easy, especially with this aero package, kind of one-line racing. You have to take advantage of these passes and that momentum when you do have it built up. Montezi closing in once again on the back of that 18 machine. You can see we have about 3 cars, and then 3 cars. These guys are kind of packed up in little couples or triplets, or insert better verbiage here, but these guys are kind of packed up in small little groups. And I expect that to continue as the tires wear off and handling becomes a little bit more of a factor.
Yeah, we should start seeing some guys actually start falling to the back that drove this car a little bit too hard. I did a couple of tries in practice just to see how hard I could drive it and how long it lasts. If you drive it like over the edge hard, like really push it through 1 and 2 where you're scrubbing that right front, right about lap 13, it just gets almost impossible to get through 1 and 2 without lifting forever. It feels like forever anyway. But we'll start seeing some guys that have abused that right front tire start falling back here, Corey. I apologize for that little delay earlier. I was chewing on a piece of ice when you threw it back through. I was trying to wet my whistle a little bit. I'm out of water over here.
All right, fair game. Didn't even notice it, but I'll accept the apology either way. But see here as we are on
a great shot looking back here.
Yeah, the rear bumper cam of our leader Falkingham looking to Jorgensen, and you can see just how difficult. It's almost like that super speedway perspective, John, where it's almost like there's that bubble, and no matter what Jorgensen does, he just can't break it. to close in further or make a pass.
Yeah, we were talking about this a while back. It's see that front splitter right there? There's an arch in that splitter where it used to be right down on the ground right there, and you could get that air to separate and go around. You could suck up to them. So between that and the diffuser, if we can get our producer to switch to a nose shot on the 88 car looking forward, I'll give you guys an idea of what I'm talking about here. So there's that diffuser right there. That's what it looks almost like tailpipes right there, Corey. So between that and that thing just throwing air out right now, right? And then that arch that you saw on the nose of the car down where the splitter almost meets the pavement, it makes it so hard for these cars to really take advantage of what we used to call the draft. It's just almost impossible. It makes like this bubble like we talked about. See how he just gets right up to it, and all of a sudden, once he gets to like 3 feet away, that's about as far as he can get. And then he just bounces back off, so to speak. But yeah, that's a great shot. Thank you there, Cody. I appreciate that, man.
But one thing, John, to point out is, remember, we are on a very early iteration of these next-gen cars that were released on the iRacing service in about March. We're on the 550 package. I don't even know what size spoiler we have. But remember, we're going to be going to 670 with a horsepower with a 4-inch spoiler very shortly. I mean, potentially even tomorrow if you're watching this live. So even later in the season, there's no guarantee that these next-gen cars these guys are driving now are going to be the next-gen cars that we're driving as the rest of the season finishes itself out.
Yeah, we've been talking about that all season long with these guys. Even though the purpose of this season was to help these guys get a handle on this car, really, most of the information they glean from this series is probably going to be rendered useless when iRacing actually updates this car to the real-life specs that NASCAR has. And, I mean, we've got a lot of insiders at iRacing that have great connections with folks at NASCAR and the technical department. So I'm fairly confident when I say this, we're going to have a simulated race car that's about as close to the real thing as you can imagine once those specs are released. And you touched on it, Corey. 670 horsepower with a spoiler that's about a third of the size it is now. It's going to change everything these guys know about this car.
And it'll bring kind of, take that downforce away. It'll kind of give the driver more feel, which will be a great thing, and these guys will like, as looks like that 8 machine yet again of Randy Yoakum starting to struggle. Didn't get a good run off of 2 there. Kind of opened up the door for Wetzel, the 9, but not quite able to make that move was the 9, as about a 6-7 car pack there. I think about 7th or 8th on back.
Yeah, I was just looking at, Jeffrey Ryan started in 4th, and he's fallen all the way back to 15th right now. Not sure if that's by plan or by incident. Not sure if he's got something going wrong there. We got Yoakum peeking down the inside of Scott Simley in that 12 car, and then you got Wetzel peeking down inside of him, 3 wide going into 3. That's a good thing Bobby backed out right there.
A little bit too early for those moves. I mean, we're only lap 25 or 24 or something on those lines, and not even one-fourth distance in tonight's effort. So you can save those moves for a little bit later, as that 00 looks to be getting a little bit overzealous and impatient there in the middle.
Yeah,
as I'm talking about patience here.
Yeah, John Fowler looked like he was really wanting to make something happen. Now looking behind him, you've got Jeff Ryan on the inside. You've got that 24 car on the outside of Medina. They were all over the back over of John Fowler for about a second there. Riding on board now with John Fowler looking out that windshield.
2 cars side by side, John. What does that mean, especially in this new aero package? That means a huge opportunity to slipstream in. Oh, is there contact there, it looks like? Oh,
yeah,
smoke on the back straightaway. First caution on the racetrack.
Oh, wow. He's tore up. Oh, Paul Cromrye has just destroyed the front end of that car right there. See if we can't get a replay on that. Back end is gone, too. Here's your Pulse Poppers replay, folks, to see what happened here. Here we go. Corey going down across the dog leg here, down into 1 and 2. Looks okay so far. And hello, how you doing? Wow, the points leader Mike Montesi gives him a little nudge. sends him around into the inside wall.
Hooters apparently has some chocolate chip cookies on the menu right there. So a little bit of contact between the cookies and the. We're a family channel here. I'm gonna pass on this joke. We're a family channel.
Yeah. Oh, look. Little after caution action going on the track also.
Oh, whoa.
Wow. What
We
in
got
the
some
world?
extracurricular activities going here off of corner number 4. Tempers are flaring here in the Lone Star State.
Let's see if we can get that on replay. Here we go. So we know that there was contact between. Oh, he's not
on
happy.
A mission.
Not happy. He knew Montez is the one that got him, and Mike almost didn't see him coming to the last minute. He's gonna check up here.
Whoa!
Ah!
All right. Well, that was slightly that was anticlimactic, huh?
Oh wow!
We're building up some drama here, and he just looped it. So.
Yeah.
Well, pit road is it? Well,
regardless
there we go.
Yeah, I was gonna say pit road, and everybody took 4 tires right there. I guarantee you. I mean, you'd be a fool not to on Texas Motor Speedway. This surface, even though they repaved it, or what do you reconfigure it, whatever you want to call it, this track still eats tires up in it. After 25 laps of green flag racing, if you stay out here, you're just throwing your race away.
And John, where we're going to be, we're 73 to go. We still will, based on what you told us earlier, still will require one pit stop. Even if this does go green to the end, we still will have a pit stop, which, you know, if this does go green, that could open the door for quite the strategies, because when do you go, when do you not? But we'll see if those cards do play themselves, as Falkingham will retain the lead here, as we are under caution at Texas Motor Speedway.
Oh, I thought we were going to break. I'm sorry. Well, yeah, it looks like Falkingham maintained lead. Brown's still in second, so really nothing changed up front. And looking at pit timing, like I said, it looks like everybody pretty much took 4 tires. Some guys like Yoakum got some damage fixed. It looks like Comstock got something going on there. Holyfield or still a lap down. They'll probably, one of those guys should get the lucky dog. Crumbride's in the pits. I think he's probably going to be out of the race. That was a pretty heavy contact he made there. For the nose and the back end off, and without a fast repair core, you know, that takes forever to get this thing fixed.
Yeah, and then you kind of have the reward versus the risk. Is it worth sitting in the pits for 30 minutes to have a semi-drivable car at the end of it? Usually it's not, so gotta have to assess that if it's worth it points-wise.
Let's look at the points, shall we?
Oh, what a segue.
Yeah, not for him. Good Lord, I don't even see him in here. Oh, yeah, there he is, 25th. So, yeah, at this point, you just kind of look at it like, yeah, I'll be back next week.
And speaking of next week, I think we are going to be at the Michigan Speedway. Yes, we are. Michigan Speedway.
Speaking, yes. In theory, yes. in theory. I don't see they were supposed to be in Talladega.
I do remember that. I do remember that.
Yeah, they were supposed to be at Talladega this week, and I guess Joey and the admins over there took some time to look at the setup to have Talladega and the way this car drove, and I guess as a team they decided to go to Texas. So, but you know, on the other side of that coin, they've raced at a 2-mile track. They did Auto Club earlier this year, which is the one that Bentley Glazer won. It was a great race. I mean, it was a really fun race to watch and call. So I'm pretty confident that we will wind up at Michigan on the 17th.
Well, maybe they'll go to the Michael Waltrip School of Race Scheduling, where they'll be at the wrong track, but I guess we'll find out.
Nice. You know what's after that is Iowa. That's the one I want to watch.
I just saw an IndyCar race at Iowa yesterday.
Brother.
I saw an IndyCar race at Iowa yesterday, and they were on the white line to the wall. It was a great race to watch. So hopefully these next-gen machines can put on a similar effort there. But the lights are out on that iRacing pace car, John. We're getting ready for a restart here.
Why don't you take it back to green for us there, bud?
Will do. We got Daniel Falkingham, last week's winner, on the inside as the control car. We got Kevin DeBrown up 10 positions from the start of this race on the outside of the front row. We'll see if the outside can get a jump. We'll see if Falkingham can retain the lead. What will happen here? We'll find out together. Pace car takes the hard left. We wait for the green flag. Wait for the jump. It's going to be a slow restart. Still waiting. And there it is. Green flag restart at Texas.
I'm not sure if that was Falkingham or if that's how far back the race box is. Wow! Contact between Comstock and somebody behind him sent that Monster Energy machine way down through the infield there. He didn't quite get in the grass, but he got way out of shape. And now they're 3 wide, coming off of 2. Yeah, that works really good, doesn't it, fellas?
Yeah, John, I'm not sure. Maybe we can get confirmation if that was a race control decision or if Falkingham really just wanted to go that late in the box. But regardless, we have Brown on the outside taking the lead here. Falkingham's going to be in a battle with Glazer.
My God, what a power move. Did you see that? I mean, he took the lead on the outside coming off of 4. He made that pass. He started on the backstretch, literally. Went to the outside of Falkingham. And then the Brown just, I mean, I guess he just stayed in the gas going through 3 and 4 on the outside there. And look, Glazer tried it, and he's falling backwards.
Yeah, if you could figure out the air, John, you could pull that off. All you got to do is get to the quarter panel and get that side draft, slow that car down, and you can kind of just aerodynamically battle your way to the lead. I have a strong vibe. That's probably what Kevin Brown did. So far, it's working out for him.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. The 40 car there. I don't know what happened to him coming off of the out of the trial. Yeah, dog leg, whatever you want to call it. He just nailed the wall.
Yeah, Charles Woods, that is.
Yeah.
Hard in the fence, still slow, so maybe some aerodynamic or suspension damage.
That's the U.S. Post Office Chevy Camaro. I hope my mail's not in that load right there.
I mean, if it's damaged mail from the post office, are you really surprised? But some good battle up front right here, John.
Postal on you.
Who's that red and blue car to the outside? That's the 84 of Anthony Calantoni.
Calantoni,
freight trained. And Daniel Falkingham to the lead.
Contact between DeBrown and Jorgensen in that 88 car back there. It wasn't major, but it was enough to cause some momentum to shift from Jorgensen. I mean, he was on a roll there, but that contact slowed him down. In the meantime, you said it, Corey. Daniel Falkingham back out front. You know, Daniel's actually been strong all season long. He's just had a lot of bad luck. Look at this. Oh,
here goes Brown. Here goes Brown again.
Contact.
He was trying that. He was trying to get that air going, like I told you, how he got the lead the first time, and he nearly put himself in the fence doing so.
Oh, I'll tell you what, this is going to get spiky. That's a new word, by the way. Spiky. It's going to get spiky at the end of this race. Now, that's what they're doing. That's what these guys do. I've raced with them long enough to know that they will push every limit they can for the first 3 quarters of a race. Just trying to figure things out, trying to see where they can make passes, to see where they can cause the guy in front of them to make a mistake. And then at the end of the race, you will see all that knowledge gained put to use. It's just amazing to watch these guys. It really is.
And John, I'm starting to notice, as we have Brown to the inside there. Falkingham tried to put the block on a little bit too late. It's going to be side by side for the lead and turn 3. And I think Montesi is going to try to 2 for 1 in here and sneak and get to the inside of Falkingham as well.
Oh, it's not looking good here for Falkingham, is it, Corey?
Nope, that freight train there. And who's that? Is that Glazer trying to go 3 wide, entering 1, thinks better of it. Luckily, looks like Falkingham will get himself into line, but that's Jorgensen to the outside, trying to see if he can get that outside line working.
Look at what the Brown did there. He's doing that snake thing down the backstretch. You used to see just at Pocono or Talladega where they try to break the draft up. But with this new package, you see it a lot, pretty much everywhere.
Look at them on the outside, John. They're trying to get that outside lane working here. And look at the momentum it has going into turn 1.
Oh, that was amazing to see. I mean,
that was like to the outside, side by side for the lead, using the outside and the push from Jorgensen. They got some tag team tandeming going on here at Texas. Say that 2 times.
I was going to say, it's like tandem racing back at Talladega used to be. And look at that. Just like draft racing, he ditched him. He left him hanging on the outside. jumps back up there now. It looks like Jorgen's going to use that effort, that draft right there, to hopefully pull away and take second away from DeBrown, but I don't know if it's going to work right here. Going down through 1 and 2, he's hanging on there. Oh, we got somebody way up out of the groove back there.
Well,
Look at this
nearly
fight,
some
man.
contact.
Wow.
Nearly some contact with Jorgensen and Brown. But, John, that outside is starting to rubber in, and especially in 1 and 2. These guys are starting to get some lanes to mess around with here, and you can definitely see they're taking advantage of it. The racing has definitely turned up a notch since that first run.
Absolutely. That's one of the things that iRacing really took advantage of and really perfected, if you ask me. They call it that dynamic track. You know, it used to be back in the old days, and I've been doing sim racing since '95. There was no such thing as dynamic track. There was no rubber buildup, as you say. And, you know, iRacing introduced that, what was it, last year before last? And they've done nothing but improve it every build. And like you said, it just takes a few guys going up every other lap or so to start rubbering it in, and it makes it a competitive groove. And I tell you what, folks, iRacing nailed it. So, you know, if you guys are watching this out there and you've never heard of iRacing, or maybe you're curious about what it's all about, iRacing.com is where you want to go, man. And it's not just NASCAR they've got at iRacing. They've got the road cars, they got dirt road, they got oval, they got rallycross guys, they've got stadium trucks, they've got, you know, all kinds of road courses, famous ones you probably heard of, like Nürburgring, I can't even say it. Yes, thank you.
Nürburgring, Nordschleife.
They've got the Detroit Grand Isle Grand Prix race. They got Chicago Grand Prix.
John, I think you got to stop while you're ahead right now.
I do. You're right. Don't
we
take
get the
my
point,
word
though.
for
Definitely,
it, folks, because I have no idea what the hell I'm saying, apparently.
Definitely,
Go by
iRacing is a
iRacing.com
very
and check it
well-versed simulator, so we do have that going for us. And, of course, we did just get a 2021 Formula One car hot off the presses with the 2022 to be built anytime now. So, iRacing.com, if you're not a member, check it out. Of course, you'll have some good fun in doing so, but it looks like these guys have decided to settle down just a little bit here on lap number 43 as we're single file, have about a 12-13 car breakaway at the front of the field.
Yeah, these guys are probably just going to settle down just a little bit for a few laps, catch their breath. I mean, we are only at lap 43, almost a halfway point here. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but that 27 car next to the 77 car, so you got the genuine draft car on the inside, the wannabe genuine draft car on the outside. That's our boy Robert Friere. Boy, he's got a lot of nose damage, it looks like. He's been in contact with somebody already. But yeah, that's Randall Watkins down there in the 27 car.
Yeah, this is all back in your late teens, early 20s here. This is a little gaggle of vehicles, if you will. The two draft cars trying to draft with each other. A lot of draft there. A little contact
I see what
there,
you did
I believe I saw.
I see what you did there.
Got to do it, man. Got to do it. I've been working on these puns since about 10 minutes ago, so I've got to use them.
That's right. You put a lot of work into that, right? I'm kind of thirsty looking at this Miller Genuine Draft car all the time now. That's my favorite. That's one of my favorite beers from back in the day.
Back in the day?
If I was going to drink a beer. Hey, dude, yeah.
I can't say I've been the biggest fan of it in my life.
How old are you?
I'm 30. How old am I? Early 30s, something like that. 33. I think that sounds about right.
Yeah. So I had my first MGD right before I got out of the military.
Whoa! Battle for second here is juicy. We had some contact there, dooring each other off a 2, and here comes the 0-0 of Fowler sticking himself in the mix as well.
Yeah, big
where the 88 and the 93 were in pancake mode off of turn 2. They were literally just dooring each other on the exit, but somehow kept control and didn't lose any time in the process.
Well, you look at the best of sim racing right here. These guys at SIM500, all of these guys have been doing this a long time, and their ratings show it. Some of these guys are 5,000 plus iRating. It's fun to watch these guys, and I mean, if anybody in this service can door bang each other and keep control of the car, it's going to be some of these guys here, as we just saw a minute ago between Brown and what happened there with Calantoni? He looked like he had a little wiggle there. So on the outside of him, Montezi, we're going to take that spot away. That's going to be a fight for 6th place between Calantoni and Montezi. Got Dwight Beverly up there in the 01. We haven't talked a whole lot about Dwight tonight there, Corey.
No, because well, look at them down the back straightaway. They're snaking down, blocking each other again as we try to get a point in here. But these guys are just making the racing too exciting for us. Dwight Beverly in that 0-1 going to the outside right now. We were talking about that outside really starting to come in. It might even be the preferred line here when it comes to making these passes.
We're going to find out here. He still has to have more help than he's got. Oh, look at this little door contact between Calantoni and the 0-1 of Dwight Beverly, but nothing happens. They keep it straight. We got 3 wide now. Montesi on the inside. Calantoni in the middle. On the outside is Beverly. He squeaks by, takes that spot away. Looks like Montesi's going to bring Glazer with him, possibly. Trying to move back up a little bit there. Calantoni's like, no, sir, I don't think you will.
What this may have done, though, is caused a little 3-car breakaway. Falkingham, as I combine names here, Falkingham, Jorgensen, and Brown caused a little 3-car breakaway. So we'll see if Fowler can eat into that 3 or 4 car length gap.
We're going to be at halfway this time by, and we got a car all messed up, the 82 car of
Anthony Monroe.
Anthony Monroe has just got a lot of extensive damage on there. Looks like he smacked the wall pretty hard there. So here we are, lap 51 of 100, halfway through. Your leader, Daniel Falkingham, followed by Jorgensen in the 88 car. Oh, look at this, Wesley. I'm guessing these two must have gotten together somewhere on track and busted their cars up. We got, anyway, the top 5, Falkingham, Jorgensen, Kevin DeBrown in 3rd, John Fowler 4th, and Dwight Beverly in the 01 car. That's top 5 here at halfway point of this race. Folks, this is going to be one hell of a race, I think, for you at the end of this thing. I mean, these guys up front are giving no quarter and asking none to return.
You can see that Brown is trying to do his patented outside move on the front straightaway. Just couldn't get close enough to insinuate that side draft with Jorgensen. But here he's going to come. I think they're going to tag team it here on the back straightaway. Oh, I'm incorrect. He's going to go to the inside, try to make a move. Just not going to be enough in the tank for it.
No, he doesn't. I mean, it goes back to that discussion we had on the aero package, man. You really just got to time it just right. And it looked like what Jorgensen's doing right here. He's going to get right up on that back bumper of Falkingham, trying to loosen him up a little bit. And, well, I guess he loosened himself up there, it looked like, huh?
Yeah, couldn't quite tell what the intent was there. He kind of gave him a shove. I thought he was going to take advantage of it, but just kind of backed off and maybe let him regroup, perhaps. But these guys are definitely on top of each other, and they're definitely being aggressive, but at the same time, not really showing the intent to make the passes. So kind of a weird little juxtaposition there, but we'll see what they decide to do. As you said, we are on half number 2 of tonight's race.
Half number 2 indeed, and we've got about a, I don't even know what to call it, maybe a 7-8 car breakaway going on right here. In the back of that little pack, we got Galantoni fighting the Bentley Grazer, trying to take that spot away from him. Up front, though, it's still Falkingham and Jorgensen and Kevin DeBrown. Those 3 cars have pretty much been up front all night long, Corey. So you got to kind of think, possibly that they're going to be the top 3 we're talking about tonight at the end of this thing when it comes down to it.
Yeah, so far, John, kind of getting back to what you were saying, we got 10 cars within 1 second here, and we're roughly 30 laps into this run that we're currently on. So it just kind of shows that, A, these guys are keeping themselves well wrapped on this long run, and B, just how good these guys are. So a little bit of shaking and baking at the back half of the field here, the back half of that pack. That was Calantoni in the number 84 in a little battle, but that has kind of fizzled out here. But John, one thing that we're going to have to start talking about, we talked about it on the restart, is these guys still are going to need one more stop to finish this race. Do you do it early and get the benefit of the fresh tires? Do you pit at the very last second and do a splash and go? These are the things these guys are going to have to start thinking about.
Well, they're at lap 56, but their last time that they pitted was back on lap 26. So 30 laps in the books right now. They're going to have to come in sometime, I'd say, within the next 30 to 35 laps, which would put them right around, if it stays green, right around the last 20 laps of the race. So we'll see how it works out. Right now, they're in the pit window. They could pit right now and stay out for the rest of the race, but those tires wouldn't really do them any favors in the long run. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the beauty of the 93 just got really loose there.
Oh, we did. We're going to see a little contact, and the caution's going to come out. So all of what we just said is for naught.
commentator's curse. We talk about pit stops and what
buddy.
happens.
And that's your points leader, folks. Mike Montesi sitting backwards on the front stretch.
All right, as we are in our Paul
Looks like it started with
replay
Kevin
here.
Brown and Jorgensen here. 1 through 3 and 4.
I think the 93 may have clipped the apron there, shoved him up the track, and kind of the domino effect ensued.
And Montesi had nowhere to go. Oh, heavy contact to the outside wall for Montesi, our points leader. The 88's got some substantial left side damage, but man, Montesi's car, I think he took it though.
It's 2 weeks in a row of crumbled cookies there for the points leader. Johnny, you said you liked the puns, man. I'm going to bring the puns.
Crumble.
There we go.
Yeah, that's exactly what it looked like happened. It looked like DeBrown touched that apron, and it shot him straight up.
Oh right hand hook.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that is not going to be one that the pit crew is going to repair with any...
Well, at least he didn't take a tow.
We'll see who has the best pit stop.
Let's see. We're going to watch these pit stops here, see who gets in without making any mistakes. Looks like DeBrown's off and away. Falkingham, bit of the pole position right there. He beats him out. And Glazer gains a spot or two. It's like the top 5 coming out of the pits is going to be Falkingham, DeBrown, Glazer, and I believe Fowler was back there somewhere. Let's see here. Yes, indeed. John Fowler, Bentley Glazer, and Anthony M. Calantoni are your top 5, folks. We're going to take a quick break now. The pit stops are over and done with. When we come back, we'll get some more of this Trans Service Blizzard series from SIM500. This is John with LSRTV with Corey and Cody. We shall return.
An automobile purchase shouldn't be hard. The hardest part for the consumer in the whole process should be selecting the vehicle. We have the online credit application. We can bring the car to you to see it, to test drive it, to deliver it. We have all the tools in place, and we've had them in place for a long time. I just think now we've perfected it. It's become part of our culture. We've, kind of taken it to the next level. It is easy, and it should be easy, and it should be fun, and it shouldn't take a whole lot of time.
Hey, it's Wesley Outland on the set of the Bull Ring on Speed 51 TV, but I also want to remind everybody that you can keep up with coverage of esports with the Northwest Cup and Truck Series, the American iRacing League, S&B Cup Series, and so much more on your home for sim racing, LSRTV. Of course, remember, you can watch it, and then you can listen to it on CRN, the community radio network, at wearecrn.com. Check us out when you can.
And we're back here on LSR TV for the SIM500 Esports League here at Texas Motor Speedway. Still under caution after the points leader Mike Montesi had quite the impact off of turn number 4, causing the second caution of tonight's race. Daniel Falkingham did retain the lead with Kevin DeBrown, Bentley Glazer, John Fowler, and Anthony Calantoni being your top 5. Looks like lights are out on the pace car, so we will go back racing on the next time around the Texas Motor Speedway. Be less than 40 laps to go, folks. If you're just joining in, you just missed a heck of a second segment of tonight's race where these guys were battling intensely 2-3 wide. And if that's what they can do on the second part of the race, I would expect this closing portion of the race to be even that much more intense here as these guys go for the W here in tonight's race. We are doubled up, stacked up, and ready to go back racing here behind that iRacing.com pace car, trying to get all the marbles off them tires and getting ready. Kevin Brown has been phenomenal tonight on that outside groove. So we'll see if he can get a jump and take advantage and maybe take the lead here off of 2. We've seen him do it before. We'll see if he can do it again here on this next restart. Falkingham is the control car, though, so let's see when he does decide to go. After that pace car does take the hard left turn, there goes the pace car. So we wait for the restart. Falkingham is the control car. Everyone's getting tight and bunched up. We wait. There's the acceleration. We're back green flag racing, and Brown has a heck of a restart there and stays on his door. We're going to be side by side entering corner number 1. The 18 is going to give that 39 quite the push there, and that's going to give Falkingham a clear lead here. And if anything, it's not going to work in Brown's favor now, because now that 00 Fowler is going to be to his middle with the 84 of Calantoni to the inside, 3 wide here through corners number 3 and 4. Brown is going to go from second with a shot at the lead all the way to about the 7th, 8th position, as they're nearly 3 wide on the quad oval here at Texas. Not what you want to do. Not a lot of space for that. But Brown's going to go all the way back to 7th after 1 lap, and I don't think he's even done yet, as he's on the outside of drivers to his inside. But Falkingham will be the beneficiary and retain the lead here as we are on lap number 2 following the restart. Some more 3 wide action here. Jorgensen in the number 88. He's in the middle, and there's going to be some contact. Jorgensen gets sideways, but he manages to save it. Everybody else gives him space and allows him to recover. Good bit of driving there by the number 88 machine of Jorgensen there, but it's going to cost him a lot of positions. But more importantly, he does have a machine still in one piece. Good bit of driving there. Very difficult situation, and he did have the maneuver. Further to the front of your field here, that number 13 of David Comstock to the outside. Haven't talked about him at all, as an off-track excursion from Scott Simley there going to the inside. They're going to be 3 wide entering 1. Brown's going to go around. Kevin Brown spun out. Is he going to have time to save it? No, he's going to right-hand pancake the fence here in turn number 1. A terrible turn of events there. Going in second for the lead. Bad restart, and now in the wall for the 93 as we're on the Pulse Poppers replay. We're off of 4 here on our replay. You can see Simley going through the grass there, along with the number 3 of Jeff Ryan as well. Brown's going to force a 3 wide there, and a little bit of contact with the 00. I'm not sure if the 00 knew they were 3 wide, but it kind of sent the 93 around, and some right side damage to that number 93 machine. We'll see if it's how terminal or hurting that damage is. But looks like John is back from his little endeavor, and we just had a massive turn of events, John. The 93 had a hell of a restart. Thought he was actually going to have a chance at the lead. Didn't work in his favor, and now he has some significant right side damage to his machine.
Yeah, I came back and saw cars scattered everywhere. I was like, oh goodness, maybe I should just stay gone.
Yeah, the 93 had one of those amazing restarts we've seen where he's using that air and using that outside lane. I thought he was going to have a chance to take the lead, but it backfired on him. Sent him about 7th or 8th through some changing of events, but a little bit of contact with him in the 00 there in a 3 wide situation brings out our 3rd caution of tonight's race.
Yeah, we went clean and green for so long there, but I knew it was going to happen. I mean, like I said, these guys, they test the limits so hard on each other, and sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't, and that seems to be a case of it didn't that time. It's unfortunate because DeBrown looked really fast. There goes our points leader, Mike Montesi, swinging around the outside there, try and get a lap back. I'm not sure how many laps down he is. Let's check the scoring. That's going to put him back on the lead lap, I do believe.
Yeah. Yes, sir, indeed.
He might be able to salvage a decent night out of this.
Yeah, with the late race attrition, which I was going to say with late race attrition, John.
Yeah.
With late race attrition, as we kind of saw last week, and as this race is kind of turning in similar circumstances to last week, late race attrition, you might have a chance to pull 4 or 5 spots off, depending how the last 30 laps of this race fares.
Well, coming into tonight, Corey, he only had a 3-point lead over Falkingham, who is actually leading the race right now. But it's still pretty early. We have a long, 40 some odd laps left to go. Anything can happen. DeBrown, on the other hand, he was sitting in fourth, but he was only, I think, like 30 some odd points out of the lead. But depending on how bad his damage is from that incident, it could be over for him. That could have been the end of his championship hopes right there.
Yeah, very well may have been the case. And John, as we wind down tonight's race and try to, think of who we can see potentially has a shot to win this thing, of course, we would think 39, as he's led quite a good fair portion of this race, but there's a good portion of this top 5, top 10 that has been shaken up over the last 20, 30 laps. And based on those last couple laps, these guys are all pretty racy. So that 39 is going to have some guys he hasn't raced with up front with him going for the win in these closing laps.
Well, Daniel's done a lot of battling over the last couple of years with guys like the 18 there, Bentley Glazer, Anthony Calantoni back there in the 84 and third, Comstock. Wow. I did not see him sneak back up there. Bless you. Dave Comstock, man. So these guys are familiar with each other, but not in this car. So, Hockenham, I tell you, especially with the 18 and Comstock back there, he's going to have his hands full. We'll see how he fares here. He's had clean air, Corey, for most of this race, so he hasn't had to deal with fighting through traffic in a tight car that results from being behind somebody going through a turn. So we're going to see how he copes with that here soon, I'm sure.
Yeah, we've seen aero push, we've seen aero loose, we've seen side drafting, we've seen 3 wide, we've seen the air manipulated in just about every single way that you can see it in this race so far. But as you said, Falkingham really hasn't had to deal with too much of it, which may be to his benefit or to his dismay, depending how you want to look at it.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Well, here we go. Going to double file for this restart. Lights are off the pace car. We'll see what happens here, Corey. We'll see if they can get some green flag laps in. When we go back to green, it's going to be lap 70 out of 100. That gives us 31 laps left. I'm assuming a lot of these guys pitted this time. Let's see. Let's check timing.
That is a negative driver.
They did not.
Because
no, they did not.
we only went about maybe 3 or 4 laps. So not really enough to, as I like to say, the stickers are still on the tires here after that short of a run. So there's no reason to change them. But
why don't you take us back to green there, Corey?
Well, Falkingham is, again, our control car, and if we've seen a trend with him on these restarts so far, is that he's going to take them slow and really late in that restart zone that isn't sponsored here. So we'll see if he does choose to keep that trend going, or if Bentley Glazer is going to be able to get any kind of jump, and we'll see who pushes who. Let's find out what happens together. There comes the pace car into pit road. What's going to happen on this restart? How late in the box are we going to go? Who's going to get the jump? Waiting even further still, and here comes the green flag, and it looks like a pretty even start, and Glazer did a pretty good job on that outside line.
Indeed. I tell you what, that outside line's been coming in really well the last, 20 laps or so. And he falls back now. I know what you're saying, folks. What are you talking about? He's falling back. Give it about 2 laps. If he gets enough company on there on the outside, he'll be back fighting up front.
Kind of the only flaw of the outside lane is when you're going that slow. I mean, it's just pure geometry. You don't want to be on the longer distance around, and it allows those other guys to take advantage of it. So now he's going to have to play catch up just a little bit as he's going to close in on Fowler, and look at him go to the outside again, try to see if he can get any kind of momentum built up as the number 18 of Glazer. High-low move. Here he's going to look to the inside on the back straightaway and go for third place.
That's how you do it, right? Well, that would be how you did if you had company down the inside right there. He did not. In the meantime, the 43 of Doug Roth tried to sneak by on the outside, taking advantage of Glazer's move. That's going to cost him a spot. Comstock back there. And look at this. Jeff Ryan's back up here. Jeff started, I think, in 4th, did he not? He has a pretty fast qualifying lap. Dropped all the way back to the pack, and now he's back up here in the top 10, riding at the moment. So 3 wide behind him. where he is the sandwich in the middle of 3 wide. They all back out, though, quite wisely, I must add. In the meantime, Comstock is still trying to take that 6th position away from Roth, and finally does it. So move Comstock up to 5th, Roth back to 6th, and Medina hanging out right there in 7th spot.
John, as we just kind of saw there with, I already forgot who it was, with Glazer, it's that super speedway mindset that you kind of have to have here tonight. You can see a move, you see it work, but how close is the guy behind me? Who's he going to go with? I might have the momentum, but if he doesn't go with me, he can't do anything with it.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, we've touched on this time and again tonight that this package is just, it's like it's got a built-in force field in the front of the car. Look at this. Glazer made a move there, trying to make another pass, and it might just cost him 2 spots here. This Comstock sneaks by on the inside and looks to be bringing the 43 of Doug Roth with him.
And then at the same time, how much patience do you use? Do you just stay in line until 5 to go and make a move? Do you want to make your move now and take the lead? I mean, these are all questions you don't typically ask at an intermediate, but given the circumstances, you kind of have to.
It's an intermediate that drives like a super speedway at the moment. Oh, look at that closure rate right there. That's a great shot. I'm out of the bumper right there of Roth, looking back at Medina's, who now has his hands full out on the inside with Jimmy Coleman. Coleman had a pretty rough week in Richmond last week. His car got all wadded up. And Coleman sneaks by and takes that spot away, so move Coleman up to 6th. Medina's falling back to 7th now. Meantime, Comstock up on the outside. I don't know if he got shuffled there or he had it in mind to try and make a pass, but he's going backwards now. As we see maybe 3 wide. Is that Glazer way back there? Wow, what happened to him?
Yeah, I think Glazer just had bad luck after he made that pass. He just had bad luck, got shuffled back, and now he just really can't do anything to kind of make that time back up. He's kind of stuck there in that 2x2, roadblock, if you will, as he's behind the number 24 of Medina on the outside lane.
Yeah, it's getting exciting now. We're under 25 laps to go, and it's time to go, man. It's time, especially with the way this car just, it's so hard to pass here. You got to start making your moves now. You got to start testing the water to see who you can get by quickly. Is that the 93 of DeBrown kind of sneaking his way back up in there? It sure is. The heavily damaged right side.
There's a song, I don't know who sings it or what it's called, but it goes, "I'm coming back, I want the world to know," and the 93 is singing that loud and proud here as he is nearly back to the top 10 after we were writing him off, and he's like, no, I'm still here to fight, I'm ready to go, I still have something to fight for in tonight's race.
Well, look at Wetzel right there with him. I mean, Bobby Wetzel was all wadded up earlier after an incident, but I can't remember who it was, but we saw him on pit road, so I mean, apparently these guys, repair crews, are doing top-notch work. In the meantime, up front, look at this. Comstock is now all the way up to 3rd spot. He's got Doug Roth coming with him. Swings to the outside. They're going to. It was almost a battle for the lead. Fowler, I think he went too soon there. He did not go in a good spot. Look at the ground. He's going to lose now. He's going to get sucked back into that fight with Comstock and Roth. Comstock pushed him through the turns right there.
Yeah, I think the 00 just got a little overzealous there, kind of Takuma Sato style. He saw a run and he went for it, even if it wasn't really the most advantageous move at the time. But luckily, he's going to be able to regroup and retain that 2nd position. As you can see, the 54 machine of Coleman to the outside, opening up the door for the number 84, Cal Antoni, at the end of the top 5 here. What's going on back?
I heard the wreck.
I heard a crunch. We'll see if our production trailer can cue it up and who it damaged. I think Kevin Brown may have been in it as I see him fall down the scoring pylon.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But
that's under 20 to go, too.
He was the little engine that could. Well, apparently he couldn't tonight. See what happens.
Well, I don't think it was his fault. Look right there. Those 2 cars got into each other, and he was just an unlucky victim right there. Nowhere to go. The 127 of Kevin England, and I couldn't say who the other car was that he got tangled up with. And that's unfortunate for Kevin DeBrown. Was a fast car tonight, Corey. Was up front a lot tonight, racing with Falkingham, but now he's all wadded up on pretty much all 4 corners of that car with less than 20 laps to go.
And he is yeeting it down pit lane right now.
Yeah. Oh, he's angry.
It's almost as if when the
Yeah, he
racing
went way
gods
through
say
the
tonight.
pit stop.
The racing gods said tonight's not his night, and he tried to fight it, and the racing gods won, and they made sure it wasn't his night. But
Yes.
maybe next week for him.
Well, in the meantime, back up front, we still have Falkenham out front, leading Fowler, Comstock, Roth, and Calantoni. That's your top five. And we've been playing this nose-to-tail game for a while, Corey, but under 20 to go, it's going to start heating up. Here we go, down to the inside. It's like Comstock's making that bid to take second away from Fowler. Might bring Doug Roth with him, which has kind of been Doug's MO, if you will, for the last several positions he's gained. Is he's just riding right there in the tail end of Comstock.
Yeah, I don't think I've mentioned that 43's name once in tonight's broadcast, but here he is. Oh, contact.
Oh!
Little boot scooting boogie there, but it didn't quite make him any progress, but showing that he's not afraid to use the back bumper a little bit and try to make something happen.
Yeah, but
that number 43 machine.
He's been doing so good, letting Comstock pull him along. I don't know if I'd want to shoot the gift horse in the head like that.
And is that 13 of Comstock trying to do the brown move to the outside and turn number one?
No,
Yes, he
gets
is.
ditched. Oh, that would have worked, I think, if Roth would have stuck with him. Now it's going to be a matter of can he get back down before Roth gets to his inside, and yes, he does. But that move would have worked if he had company to go with him on the outside, I think.
And now Falkingham,
wow.
Falkingham saw what Comstock did. Now, do you play defensively or do you keep doing what you did? Kind of knows what the move's going to be.
I can promise you, Falkingham is driving more out of his back view mirror than he is at the windshield.
Then if you're Comstock, are you queuing up that 43? Hey, we got to do this together. What are we going to do? Are we going to be selfish and do nothing, or are we going to work together and make sure that 39 doesn't win this race? Kind of have to have a little co-opetition, I believe they call it these days.
There you go. Yeah, did you see that move that Falkingham did just now? He kind of went up and took that line away from the 13 car, causing him to check up and lose his momentum. Right here, we go down. It turns 1 and 2, those flatter corner of the track that we built. And look at the damage. I don't know where Comstock got that nose damage, but it seems to have helped this car, not hurt it.
Yeah, Falkingham he's essentially taking the air away from Comstock at a very pivotal point in the corner, where that's where he gets his runner right on the exit. And if he gets him tight on the exit of the corner, it kills the run, as these leaders are going to have to sift through a slower machine. That's Doug Sigmund in the 04.
Yeah, this is going to play a little havoc with some of these guys that are trying stuff on the outside. They have to check it up and give that Latin car a chance to play.
Falkingham's exit a little bit. That might cost him a little bit of momentum. That's going to give the 13 a little bit of extra steam there, as a good push occurred from Roth as well. There may be some action going into turn number 1. We'll see what the 13 tries to do.
David Comstock all over the back bumper of Falkingham right now. Falkingham's got to be wondering which way he's going to try and make this move. And he's going to try and outguess Comstock. Maybe try and take the air out of his nose like we talked about earlier here, Corey. Going down the backstretch, here we go.
To be honest, I don't know if Comstock knows which side he wants to pass him on. Do you want to make the move down low? Do you want to make the move up high? I mean, I don't think he really has a definitive answer, nor do I, having watched this race so far.
Yeah, he's probably trying to figure that out. You're right. And he's also probably trying to figure out where does Falkingham get the weakest on this track. Where's his weak spot on this track? Oh, yeah, and it's our points leader. Mike Montez, he's going to be one of these lap cars in the way. And here we go. Comstock jumps to the outside. Falkingham goes up to take his air off, slows him down, letting Roth get by on the inside. And he's going to bring Jimmy Coleman with him.
Not sure what the thought process there was for the 13 to kind of just take it to the outside there and let the 43 kind of just have a free spot there, but we'll see if the 43 can do something with the 39 here.
And Comstock's thinking maybe he can get the outside groove going, but not by himself, he can't. Meantime, behind him, oh, wow, look at that move by John Fowler in the 00, trying to keep the air off the nose of Ryan and Glazer back there behind him so they don't get any kind of momentum. Try and pass him up for that spot. Meantime, Comstock went from second all the way back to fifth in one lap there, Corey.
And that's the kind of things you can't recover from at this point in the race, or at least it's very difficult to do so, as here comes Coleman with a look to the inside of Ronth off of 2. They'll go side by side down the back. Falkingham kind of pulling the snake move, trying to break the draft there. One thing that they don't want to do is battle too far and lose positions, lose too much time to the 39. Can't lose time this late in the race. It's a single lap, 9 laps to go, coming to 8 now.
8 laps to go, and we're going to be getting down to the end of this one real fast. Look at that swing out to the outside Comstock move right there. I'm not sure what his mind was, what he was working on right there, but we'll see how it works out. For the meantime, Calantoni got right on the corner of the 54 car Jimmy Coleman, trying to get him loose a little bit. Not Jimmy Coleman, I'm sorry. Yeah, it was Jimmy Coleman. Okay. He loosened him up a little bit. They're trying to complete that pass now, coming out of 4.
John, what these guys are doing right now, we kind of have a crazy Russian roulette for second right now. These guys are changing second place just about every lap, but that 39 is still finding a way, and they're not really making a concerted effort to make a pass on him. They're too worried about second right now.
Yes, they are, and that's giving Falkingham what he wants, a cushion. He wants a cushion between himself and those guys behind him. Looks like that's wrapped up now. Looks like Anthony Calantoni, the 84, is going to be the next driver to take a shot at Falkingham's lead.
Talked earlier in the race about when do you make the move, as we're on board with Calantoni in the 84. Talked about when do you make the move. Do you have to show patience, almost like a super speedway, or do you just take the move as soon as you can get it? Seeing what we're seeing now, I'm going to kind of go with option B. It's a matter of finding the move and just taking it when it's there, but so far it hasn't quite been there. He might need a little bit of help, as the 39 kind of struggled through 4 there, didn't get a good run. That's going to bring the 84 right to the back bumper.
Right to the back bumper indeed, but we'll see if he can do anything with it. We talked about this aero package. Once you get too close to that car, it's like it starts to push you backwards a little bit. In the meantime, look at this, we've got 2x2 back here. John Fowler fighting with Bentley Glazer with that spot. You got Doug Ross ducking down the inside now on the 18, trying to take that spot away. Bringing Comstock with him, it looks like, down on the inside. Looks like Glazer's going to be stuck on the outside there, Corey.
Yes, he is. He's just not recovering since that initial restart where he was in second spot. Just can't seem to get it back, but just kind of talking about the battle for the win again. If you're that 84, I really think you need that guy behind you, whoever it may be at this point, to work with you. I just really don't see a move happening by themselves right now, John, for the win on the 39 machine.
I think the only hope he's going to have by himself is to try and get some sort of a run started on the exit of one turn. Follow it all the way down into the exit of the next turn, and pardon me for saying this, but yeet that car into the turn, hoping to get a piece of the bumper and possibly loosen up Falkingham. I think that's really the only way that there's going to be a pass. We got 3 to go right here on the backstretch. Next time by will be 2 to go. And Corey, it's still really Falkingham's race to lose.
It is, but now Roth has kind of broken away a little bit from Comstock, and we'll see if he wants to do anything to help Calantoni, or if these guys are just going to kind of take what they can get here, as there's less than 3 miles of racing here at the Texas Motor Speedway, and you're seeing a good battle. That number 84 did close in on the back bumper of Falkingham just a little bit, but did he cost it on corner exit? He may have. We're going to have to figure out something here, because we're coming to the white flag.
Coming to the white flag this time by through 3 and 4. It's still Daniel Falkingham on the 39 car. Right behind him, Anthony M. Calantoni, looking for his first win this series this year. Behind him, Doug Roth, also looking for his first win. But I just don't know. Here we go. 1 lap to go. And folks, I don't know what to tell you. It's just, if you can't get right up to the bumper, Corey, you're not going to be able to make the pass. Just like that. Look how much ground he just lost. Oh my goodness. Falkingham down through 3 and 4 for the last time, and it looks like he's got this, because those guys behind him fighting with each other gave him a heck of a cushion. Coming off of 4 this time by. We got a wreck. Calantoni, Glazer, John Fowler, everybody back there just spinning and wrecking. The top 3 are the only ones that made it through. Jimmy Coleman involved. John Fowler, Anthony Calantoni. Here's your Pulse Poppers replay, folks, for what happened coming across the start-finish line. Top 5, it looked like. There's Doug Roth on the inside, Calantoni behind him on the outside. Comstock shoots the gap right there. It looks like Right here, yeah. Glazer was trying not to get on the bumper of Calantoni. He checked up, got loose. Holman got into him. Fowler got into him. It was just on from there. Wiped out 5 really good cars. But hey, that's the end of the race. They're just doing what they've got to do for it to get us the best finish they possibly can.
Yeah, that's racing. And I'll tell you, the best thing that happened for that 39 was when the 43 took a move to the inside there and took a move on the inside of the 84 Calantoni, kind of gave that automatic win to Falkingham when they went side by side. And as he'll do his donuts here
Yeah.
in the front straightaway at No Limits Texas Motor Speedway.
No Limits Texas Motor Speedway is the best description of this place we got. Well, folks, they're going to be doing some donuts here. Let's go ahead and get you your unofficial race results. So Daniel Falkingham, he's going to be the second back-to-back winner, second multiple race winner in this series, following Mike Montesi. Let's hope that his luck does not go south like Montesi's did. Mike has not had a good couple of weeks since his last win. Doug Roth bringing it home in second place tonight. That's the highest he's finished so far in this series. Save for Comstock right there in third. Jeff Ryan turned his luck around finally. Started fourth, finished fourth tonight in that 3-car. Bentley Glazer, fifth. E.J. O'Rourke, what a great comeback. He was lapped down early with big nose damage, comes home sixth. Bobby Wessel, same. He had some damage early on, comes home seventh. J. Randall Watkins in that number 27 Miller Genuine Draft. He comes home eighth. Anthony M. Calantoni wrecking, but still got himself a top 10. Scott Simley, 10th place.
In 11th, we have Gerald Livingston on the number 96. Kevin England, kind of a quiet run, finishes 12th here tonight. Robert Freary, the third, with a 13th place effort. John Fowler involved in that last lap. Frawley falls back to the 14th spot, loses that top 5, as did Jimmy Coleman. Travis Trevelyan in 16th. Ron Holyfield in 17th. Joseph Axelson in the 32 machine. He finishes in the 18th spot. Doug Sigmund and former points leader Mike Montesi will round out your top 20.
21st will be Tyler Hunter, 1 lap down. Paul Crumrye, we saw what happened with him, between himself and Mike Montesi early in this race. Comes home 22nd. Charlie Woods, 23rd. Jose Medina, rough night for Jose, 24th. Kevin DeBrown, really rough night for Kevin. He comes home 25th. Dwight Beverly comes home 26th. And see, Mark Jorgensen, the 88, he had a great run for most of this race, got involved in a mid-race accident. He's 27th. 28th will be Anthony Monroe. 29th, Randy Yoakum. And 30th will be Matthew Karakofi, who I don't know what happened, but he didn't finish too well himself. That's your lineup, folks. We're going to take a break real quick. When we come back, we'll have interviews with our top 3 and final thoughts in our post-race show. So make sure you stay tuned. LSRTV, we shall return. Welcome back, race fans. We have wrapped up another exciting race tonight for the SIM500 series, the Trans Service Cup Blizzard Series. We got some winners to talk to, some guys finished second and third. But first, let me tell you a little bit about Trans Service. They've been around for 50 years, one of North America's leading companies as far as logistics goes. They provide proven, innovative solutions with authentic partnership approach in 5 major offerings: dedicated contract maintenance, dedicated full-service leasing, contract carriage, material handling, equipment leasing and maintenance, and freight management. If any of this sounds like something you could use some help with, then by all means, stop by transservice.com and tell them that LSRTV sent you over here for the SIM500 series. Folks, we had a great race tonight. We saw some beating and banging. We saw some people trying to figure out if Texas was Talladega or not. And when it all came down to it, we had a repeat winner. So we're going to talk to him in a few minutes. But first, we're going to see if my man Corey can catch up with our third place finisher, Doug Roth.
All right, Doug. So what a race here at Texas. Kind of had some flares of last week at Richmond where we had a long green flag run and a little bit of calamity to kind of wrap up the night. But we saw you guys having a great battle there for second and really for the whole top 5. So kind of summarize that last run and what kind of strategy you had mentally towards maybe going for the win or at least kind of getting the highest spot you could.
Well, I think I was able to edge David for second. But I don't know. Maybe there's something got screwed up with the counter. But no, it was a great run for the STP 43 tonight. The package that we're dealt with here, it benefits guys like myself. Typically, I'm not up front with Daniel and David and the rest of those real super fast guys. So as much as I'm happy to be up front and obviously be here tonight on the podium. I would be lying if I said I'm not looking forward to, or I am looking forward rather, to the new package where you can drive them a little bit more instead of just some plate racing.
Yeah, that's my fault, Doug. You're absolutely right. You actually finished second. I was giving Comstock more credit than he deserves. My bad. Anyway, so you had a great race tonight, though. Seriously, we haven't talked a whole lot about you running up front, and you didn't get up there by fluke or fault of everybody else. You raced your way up there. Congratulations. So do you have anybody you want to give a shout out to for this great second place finish tonight?
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, my team, Dirty Monkey Motorsports. I'd like to thank John Fowler, Joey Atchison, Scary Strokes Family Entertainment Center. If you're in the Maryland, D.C. area, scarystrokes.com, Blacklight Indoor Miniature Golf Arcade, Virtual Reality. I'd like to thank SIM500 for putting on a great league. Been with them for several years. And for you guys there in the booth, LSRTV, you guys are the best in the business, and glad to have you guys back. And hope we can get some of this momentum and finish out the season here and into the Trans Service season once February rolls around.
Thank you so much for your time there, Doug. That's your second place finisher, Doug Roth. My mistake, folks. I apologize that, but we do have Dave Comstock, the real third place finisher. David, my friend, I've known you for a few years. You and I have we've traded a few laps on track, man. Great race tonight. We haven't seen you much in this series. I don't think you made all the races, but when you do come back, you come back with a blast, man. Talk to me about your third place run.
Yeah, I heard that I got bumped to second. Doug, I overheard Doug saying about being up with us fast guys. I used to be fast, so give me all the extra spots I can get. I'm not as fast as Daniel these days. No, but I'm just getting dipped into these next gen cars. I for what I heard, it turned into Texatona here, so just trying to learn what I can. Yeah, first start of the season in this winter series, and just trying to get my feet wet really to get ready for 2022 and the Trans Service Cup Series rolling on there, starting with Daytona here shortly. But yeah, I just pretty much I guess I got experience for that race coming up.
Corey, did you have anything you wanted to add?
Yeah, one thing that I did notice too, man, is the racing, as we talked about, being so plate race style. How much thought did you have to make with the making moves to see if you were actually going to have help? Because we saw so many moves backfire, guys going for positions and then falling back 5 or 6 spots when it didn't work out.
Oh yeah, it was it's mainly like a rubber band effect. You'd pretty much like set the guy up or set whoever you're trying to battle with through 1 and 2 and try to get a better run off the corner. And if you're able to jump along inside of them off the corner to get their quarter paddle and just side draft them, you get to 3 and 4, it's pretty much your spot just because it's wide open. You got the shorter way around. I mean, the guy can tuck on your door and that can make it a bit dicey. You never know if netcode could happen. I tried doing that one time, really didn't do anything. It just stalled us out, and it went into 1 and 2, and I still lost the position anyway. So, and I tried leaving a gap to try to not stall both of us out side by side, and about got myself wrecked off turn 4 one time with Simley, trying to race with Calantoni there. And so it's such a rubber band effect. Everything you're doing, you're trying to time moves, and if like I said, if you get it wrong, you get your momentum killed with the side draft, or you end up getting the guys that you had a gap on. Then all of a sudden, everyone's all packed back together, and if you get kicked to the outside, you're losing. If you're in the wrong lane or wrong spot, you can't drop down in. You're losing. Trying to go for that one spot. You trying to take 2 steps forward, you take 5 steps back. So it's definitely ebb and flow type style with the way it is here at Texas, especially just with the way the corners are.
Yeah, and it'll all be good practice because next week we're at a very similar track at the Michigan Speedway. So these lessons will be learned. But who do you want to give for a shout out, man, for your second, third? We can fight about where it is efforts here tonight.
Yeah, I'd like to thank everybody at Team Name, all the teammates there. It's fun to get back into the groove with them and get ready going here for 2022. Happy New Year to everybody. Hope everybody had a good holidays. Thanks to Monster Energy and you guys at LSRTV for broadcasting, SIM500, and Trans-Service Cup for sponsoring the Cup Series. For Trans-Service for sponsoring the Cup Series.
Well, there you have it, folks. That's your second, third place finisher. You pick it. We'll give it whenever you want. But Dave Kopstock, thank you so much for your time there, David. And now the interview we've all been waiting for, I guess.
Thanks.
The race winner, Daniel Falkingham. Daniel, buddy, second race in a row where I've done the lead and you've won the race. So congratulations on that win, man. Talk to me about your race.
Thanks. I guess you need to do lead commentary for the rest of the season so I can keep winning these things. But yeah, that was a way more crazy race than I was hoping it would be. Just having to pretty much air block all the runs, and trying to set up runs when I lost the lead at the early stage of the race, and having to I was looking out of my mirror more than the windshield the last 25, 30 laps. Like, that's how on edge I was, just trying to keep the lead and stuff, because it's just so hard to air, just so hard to block, because you create these massive runs with the current 550 package we have. I'm hoping sooner or later we can get the 670 power into these cars, because I don't want to. It's kind of pretty bad when we're having to mirror drive for 25, 30 straight laps of Texas. So, but I mean, it is what we got right now. But I'm hoping the 670 horsepower update comes in before the season starts. But yeah, other than that, glad we were able to get another win, starting off 2022 right, shaking off all the bad luck we had at the start of the season, and pretty much in 2022 we've started out with 2 wins. So definitely feels really good.
Yeah, you pretty much crossed all the T's and dotted all the I's there with questions that I had, Daniel. But again, you kind of talked about looking for the new package, which, I mean, if you're watching this live and you are here live, I mean, there's a patch tomorrow. There's probably a high probability it could be in there. But these guys, without that package, we're coming to Michigan again next week. So where you kind of learned how to block the air and manipulate the draft and all that stuff, do you think that'll carry over to a similar event next week?
It's going to be a little bit harder next week because Michigan, it's much more flowing. You got more sweeping corners. Corners sweep a lot more compared to here, where Texas has a lot more flat corner 1 and 2, where we have to get off the gas. But we are wide open through 3 and 4 through the whole night. So I think we're going to be in the throttle a lot more, probably wide open the entire race. I really think it's going to be like a super speedway race tomorrow or next week. So definitely not looking forward to that. But I mean, we mentioned this patch. Hopefully the 670 is in there. But I mean, we'll see what happens. But I know Michigan is going to be an absolute pain next week. Just you know, people trying to make moves, and if their moves don't work, they'll just fall through the field. It's going to be everyone's going to just be staying in line because they'll be scared to make a move. First, what Auto Club was, so which was another 2-mile track. So we'll see what happens next week. I think it'll be a fun show for the fans, but it's not going to be fun as a driver, that's for sure. But I mean, we'll see what happens. It could be a good race. It could not be. We'll see.
Well, at least we get to qualify as the fans of the booths versus you having to put it behind the wheel. But who do you want to give a shout out to, man, for your victory here tonight?
Yes, got to thank First Debate, Lobster 207 for all their support. Also got to thank Joey and all the admins who run the show at SIM500. Got to thank you guys for putting on the broadcast every single week. Looking forward to having you guys for the Trans-Service Cup Series this year. When we go full season racing. Gotta thank everyone that, or thank everyone who comes out races each every week. Gotta thank Trans Service for sponsoring the series. Look forward to having them in 2022 as well. Gotta thank everyone at Team Name, Kevin Brown, Dave Comstock, and the whole crew there, EJ, and everyone else. And also, actually, gotta thank my new team, North Force Racing. Look forward to going road to pro racing with them up in March, ready to get going. See if we can go make pro later this year. It's definitely gonna be a new challenge for me. So thanks to Presley Gilson and everyone over there in North Force SRTV setups as well. And also got to thank all the fans who watch each every week, and thanks to their friends and family for watching as well.
Well, there you have it, folks. Your winner, Daniel Falkham. Hey, man, I wish you luck with that road to pro thing. A lot of people don't realize how difficult that really is with the level and caliber of driver you have to race against.
Absolutely. I know. I haven't done it since 2020. Took a year off last year, but I'm ready to get going for 2022. I feel like I have a good shot. Like you said, it's not going to be easy. So I'm definitely going to be a lot of preparation going into that once we get to March. Once that gets starting up, and hopefully the end goal is hopefully make it to pro, maybe Coke next year. But we have a long road ahead, so we'll see what happens. But don't want to set expectations too early.
Well, look, man, good luck with it. Good luck with it. That's Daniel Falkingham, tonight's race winner. Second race in a row he's won. He's the only driver besides Mike Montesi to have multiple wins. I think they've got 2 each now. So that's going to shake the points up, too, folks. Montesi did not have a very good race tonight. I believe Falkingham's probably going to take the lead on that one by a good margin because he's only a couple points behind coming into tonight's race. Well, look, that's going to wrap it up for us here at Texas Motor Speedway. Like you've heard already, we're going to be at Michigan next week in the next-gen cars for the SIM500 Trans Service Blizzard Cup Series. Corey, what are your thoughts, man, on tonight's race?
I'll tell you, we were talking pre-race, John, and I didn't have much of an expectation for tonight. I kind of thought it was going to be a parade on the bottom, but these guys proved us wrong. We saw a hell of a race, some close action, 2-3 wide racing, and they may not like it as drivers, but definitely was a good one to watch here in the LSRTV booth.
Well, folks, that's going to do it for us tonight. I had a blast, and like Corey, I want to say that, we didn't know what to expect coming to Texas. I mean, these cars have really... They just kind of put everybody on their heels this year with not knowing exactly how they're going to handle what the aerodynamic package is going to feel like. I kind of echo Daniel Falkingham's sentiments. I hope they implement the 670 package soon. I think it's really going to shake up the racing for us. Well, we're going to call it a night tonight. For myself, Corey Silva, next to me in the booth, Charlie Wooten down there in the production van, you bringing in these amazing 4K images you're seeing. My name is John Mushin Jr. for LSRTV. Make sure you tune in, folks. Stop by sim500.com if you're interested in taking part in what you've been watching every week with us. And we'll see you folks next week. God bless and have a good evening.